My great-grandmother Ida did something quite remarkable. She built her own pressure cooker. Her son, my maternal grandfather, the nuclear physicist Enrico Fermi, also built a pressure cooker, a nuclear kind. In December 1942, he successfully completed his Chicago pile experiment. And for the first time, humanity controlled the release of vast amounts of atomic energy. The pile of uranium, was purified uranium, that he and his colleagues built in an underground squash court was like food in a pressure cooker. A pressure cooker is a powerful tool. With World War II raging, the Chicago pile as the proof of a possibility, the US government commissioned my grandfather and other top scientists to build a pressure cooker that could explode on purpose, a nuclear bomb. There's something very strange about this photo. Here you see my grandfather holding a photo of the Hiroshima bomb cloud in his hands. Don't you wonder what he's thinking and feeling as he looks at this awesome and terrible power? I think the photo almost plays a trick on us because it makes us think that we can hold the power of the universe in our hands. In our stories, we can imagine anything, but in our real lives, the nuclear legacy we are left with today still seems far beyond our emotional and ethical capacities. It's a pressure cooker of contradictions. I'm going to show you another example of the power of opposites. It's a photo of a celebration. I want you to be curious about your first response. Funny? Scary? Bewildering? Sad? At the time, this image caused a lot of controversy. People were divided into two camps. They couldn't hold the contradictions. Growing up, I thought the people in my family were like heroes in a storybook, and that for my life to be valid, I had to become a hero. Trying to become a hero didn't pan out. Embracing contradictions did. In a created world, we can have heroes and villains who conquer the impossible odds and succeed. But what do you do in the real world? I say to create stories that change the world for the better, we as story creators have to grow too. Embracing opposing forces in our stories, in our personal lives, takes humility, courage, and determination, heroic qualities. Remember my great-grandmother who built her own pressure cooker? It seems to me we have a kind of vessel inside us where we contain the personal paradoxes of our lives. You know, there's someone you deeply care about, but sometimes you just don't want to see that person, and then you do anyway. Or if you're quite open, you might notice a flash of hatred towards someone you love. The more such contradictions you have to deal with, the harder it is to stay steady. Multiply all the people alive now by their mother issues, their father issues, their nuclear issues, their political issues. And it's no wonder the pressure cookers are exploding and we've reached an evolutionary crisis. We look to technology to find a way out. But the key is within us. It's not out there, it's in here. It all has to do with perspective. Celebration atomic bomb. Joys, sorrows, hopes, fears. The Buddhists call this work of embracing opposites building a stainless vessel. I call it harnessing your pressure cooker to make soul food. This is the alchemy. Hold in your awareness two things that don't go together and see where you go. If you're sincere, this can be a scary exercise, so do it with a friend. You're creating space for something absolutely new to emerge. And that makes for great human beings and great storytelling. I was the firstborn into a family facing the militarization of my late grandfather's work. My grandmother, Laura Fermi, became a trailblazer in the environmental movement. She and my parents injected the full force of their hopes and their fears for nuclear technology into me. I absorbed the enormous and genuine pride, afterglow about my grandfather Enrico's work, and also the terror of nuclear annihilation and contamination. Grappling with this in school, I felt isolated from my schoolmates. I felt like I was behind some kind of invisible glass wall. And then, eventually, I began to reach out. I trained myself to hold the opposites. I tackled the difficult questions. My heart opens. It's still opening. And I realized that we're all in this together. So regardless what your opposites are, stay with that feeling of being trapped and see where it takes you. Many of you are already in the throes of such paradoxes with your work now. Continue. But if you're not, look and see what you're shying away from. In our stories, avatars and heroes can conquer the impossible and win. But in our real lives, we have to be our own heroes.
Thank you.